You're listening to Trevor Francis on the Tilton Talk Show.
The Tilton Talk Show on srbradio.com.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's a team down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. We chant a super blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
Welcome to Monday night's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Image Cleaning, and this month in conjunction with BHST, which is of course the Birmingham Homeless Support Team. Saturday saw Blues take on a very strong and organised Middlesbrough side under the leadership of Tony Pulis. Without doubt they are going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season, and any team that goes there and goes 1-0 down are going to face an upward struggle. News breaking today of 3 relatively high-profile, long-serving members of staff leaving their posts. We'll try and understand what's going on behind the scenes, as very little information is forthcoming when these events occur. Reading away tomorrow in the Carling Cup. Can't bring myself to call it anything else, so good luck to the team and safe travels to everybody making the journey. Friday night will be the first floodlit one of 2018-2019 campaign, so let's make St Andrews a very noisy place and hopefully send Swansea back to South Wales with their tails between the legs. This again is going to be a very difficult game, coming off the back of a Tuesday night one, so whatever you do, let's make Friday noisy. Remember how Fulham folded on the last game? Well, that was in part down to you and to me. Mr Fun is still hobnobbing his way around the United States, so we're thrilled to have a very special guest in with us tonight in the shape of Paul Devlin. So once again, it's on with the show, so strap yourselves in, get ready for the ride on the world's one and only Tilton Talk Show. It's what Mondays are made for.
We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have the team that's tops here at St Andrews. They're gonna give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever, let's hear it from the stand. So come on city, sing this song once more. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day.
This is it, Monday night. Welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. Here we are just south of Birmingham, and delighted to have with us Paul Devlin.
Hiya.
Great to have you back again, matey. We've got 5 hats on the table there. Anybody who comes up with something decent tonight, that could be comical, it could be the point of the evening, it could be whatever we choose. Devs is going to sign a hat, and that's going to be winging its way onto you very shortly. Okay, when you share the stream, please can you only share it on your personal Facebook network? Please, please, please do not share it to any groups at all. Why?
Well, unless you're an admin, right? Unless you're an admin and I haven't posted it. Because what happens is Facebook look at it and they think, oh, there's 2 posts of the same thing, or 3 posts sometimes. It's spam. Let's take it down.
Okay, so please, please, please only share it to your personal page. And of course, to be in for next week's prizes, you've got to share it on your page. There was 100 and how many last week? 120 odd shares last week, so that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Right, okay, coming off from the Middlesbrough game. 1 point out of 2. Don't think it's a disaster. We've played some very good teams so far. Reading is going to be difficult tomorrow, and then Swansea is going to be equally as difficult probably as Middlesbrough on Friday.
Yeah, I was down against Norwich and it almost felt like a defeat really in the manner that they equalised. We were the better team, I thought second half, and should have won the game. Their second equaliser couple of mistakes really from
Hurtful,
Kifton.
maybe.
Yeah, Kifton Belt, and then obviously Morrison's fell over. Always thought it was a big ask to go to Middlesbrough. I think they're going to be one of the strongest teams in the league this year. And like you say, Reading away and Swansea at home are two tough games. But you never seem to get a run in the Championship where you think, oh, we've got 4 or 5 easy games.
There's no easy game.
It's a tough league.
There is no easy game. Alan Howell says, I've shared, can I have a cap? Well, perhaps not. The TV on the wall. Can we name it again this week, please? Okay, he's on it. Mr. Buttons is on it, don't worry. The TV will be next week's prize. It's a real TV as well. Can you see it, Dave? You can only see it on mine because I've got bigger comments on that one because even though my eyesight was bad last week, I've had my new glasses today, but I can't quite determine which pair to use to read that screen. I can see one screen with this one and another with that one. So anyway, yeah, simple bad defending over 2 games, says... golly, why do these go so quick? Dave Power says, all right, Dev, how are you, mucker?
Good.
Keep right on. And the TV on the left is a prize. No, that's part of the fixtures and fittings, Ray. You can't have that. You can't have that.
Okay, I've named the TV this week. Okay. It should come up in a bit.
Jez McDonough's saying that the Craig Gardner red wasn't a red. We've just watched it back a couple of minutes ago, and I don't think the ref got another option, had he, really?
I mean, I'd like to see it again. It's only a very small picture that I've saw it on here, so I'm a bit undecided about it at the moment. I'd like to see it in on a bigger screen at a different angle, to be honest. My eyesight's not great.
Have you seen what you've done here?
What's that?
The TV's called Ren this week.
Ren, okay.
Oh dear.
Name every week.
Oh dear. David James wants the Stockdale return discussing. What's your take on that one?
It's a strange going on, isn't it? Obviously, the young lad Truman come in against Norwich, and I thought did really well. Didn't put a foot wrong. Obviously, since then there's another keeper came in, and obviously Stockdale now. So just a strange scenario, really. Not ideal for the player, I would think, and not ideal for the club, really.
No, and crazy situation coming out today as well with 3 long-term members of staff losing their jobs all of a sudden, out of the blue. Yeah,
I mean, to be honest with you, when I came in, that was the first I'd heard of it. I've been working on a summer camp all day, so I haven't seen the news or anything. So, yeah, a bolt from the blue, and I think Julia especially, she's been there a long time. I think the other 2 have been there a long time as well. So, things happening behind the scenes by the looks of it.
I don't like things like this. I like stability.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, stability is a good thing.
Yeah, I think stability is always a good thing, but obviously there's people wanting change behind the scenes. It looks that way at the moment. So, it's going to be an interesting few weeks, see how everything pans out.
Yeah, because they were quite high-profile jobs as well, weren't they? It wasn't like, I mean, like I say, these people have been there, as Stephen Cale said earlier, since you were there.
Yeah, been there a long time, and like I say, quite high-profile positions in the scheme of things at the club. So, a bit of a shock, really.
I think Julia's been there a long time, hasn't she?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody was saying 22, 23 years, something like that.
Mike Princess Stability, you're following the wrong club.
You're right.
Not quite worth a hat, but very good comment. Good comment. Can't give them away too quick tonight because usually in the last 15, we do open up a little bit of comedy in the last 15 minutes.
Probably does deserve something.
You should ding in, then you know the rules.
Sorry, because even Kevin Kelly says, if Sir Paul,
if
Sir Paul Devlin signs me a hat, I'll donate £30 to your charity.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Gotta be worth it.
Job done. Yeah, hang on. Here's the hat now. Pen's on the floor.
No, there's a pen behind it.
We'll do it. I'll sort it.
Okay, Steve Kelly, that'll be on the way to you. 30 quid. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. The TV screen is called Ren. If you've not noticed, this is a new supplier of TV screens across the UK. Please go and buy one from Comet or any other,
Curry's
or Curry's or yeah, Craig French says, I think Truman's a little raw for this league. We need to play Stockdale if we're paying him. Play him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know what the relationship is between him and the manager now. Has it deteriorated? Is it still good? Obviously, he's on quite a good contract, I'm led to believe. And ideally, you want your high-profile signings and players playing, but we don't really know what's happened there between them.
No. Or whether there's, I don't know, some kind of agreement that's gone on that, perhaps he would take less money if he's not playing. I don't know. Can you do that halfway through a contract?
There's not many players that would do that halfway through a contract.
In fact, no.
There is no players that would do that halfway through a contract.
Thought I'd ask. Paul Gill, Blues stable. I've seen higher wire axe in a gale force wind that's more stable than us. Yeah, you're probably right, but it's how we have it, though, isn't it? It's how we have it. Steve Portman would have called the TV Dan.
I know why.
I know why. Okay, right.
like the
that
other
TV
one
is going to come in for some stick all season, isn't it?
I like the other one as well, Sam song.
Sam. Oh, yes. Yeah. Very clever. Keep right on from Spain, from Tom Watson. If you are out and about on your travels, please do let us know where you are, where you're listening to tonight, because we absolutely love the fact that we do go worldwide. There are guys that wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning in Australia just specifically to listen to this. And it's a great outlet for them, because it's the only kind of unbiased, like, you know, because we're not attached to the club directly, we can say what we feel and we say what we want, and we're quite free and open to do that. And we've got no strings that hold us down, so to speak. So it's good that we can operate like that as a free speech entity.
See, if I was professional, I would have that song ready, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would have done. You would have done, but you're not professional, Mr. Brown. You've only done this for 8 years. Yeah. I lads, keep right on. I've shared embargo. Is it for the season or just till January? I think the embargo is lifted now, isn't it? With certain conditions.
Yeah, I think there's conditions on it, with it being fees and salary caps and the amount. So I'm led to believe that, you know, from what I've heard, that it is, but there is still restrictions on it.
A controversial one for this from Jez, going back to the three that have lost their jobs today. Is it to do with financial fair play? And to be honest, all staff down there have been getting away with too much stuff and got too comfortable and leaking information to certain individuals. I don't know. We don't know. That's an internal thing for the club and those people involved. Probably best that we don't comment, to be fair. We'll read it out, but best we don't comment. Hi lads, this goes so fast. I'll show it. Right, that's why I've done that. No, yes, the embargo is definitely lifted, but there are certain conditions that we've got to comply to the EFL with until such time as. And I take it that's probably until the next set of accounts are due. There's a certain club up the street that if they don't get promoted this year, they're going to be hammered next year, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Hopefully.
I think there's going to be a few caught out with it, isn't there, by the looks of it?
Yeah.
TV looks dull, just like our defence.
Oh, the TV is like two shades of black and grey, going into almost a white in the corner.
And it's 6:30 a.m. in New Zealand. So good to hear the Tilton Talk Show.
Who's that from?
Brilliant.
That's from Matthew Revel.
Matthew Revel, North Island or South Island? My brother lives on North Island, right at the very top, and he quite often listens in too when he's not on his way to work, and he's on his way over in October. So we might be able to take him to a game if he behaves himself. The TV is brighter than Mr. Fun, Adam Wilkes. Keep them coming. It's just a poor little TV screen. You know, it's going to get a new name every week now, I think.
We'll have a new name.
Well, the name of the week for the TV screen is Ren this week. It was Mr. Fun last week, in his absence. He's still on his journeys around the United States of America. And he should be back in 2 Mondays' time.
I think 2 Mondays' time.
2 Mondays' time. So we've got a special guest in next week. Yeah. Probably. Have we?
No, it's not me.
Are your people talking to their people?
David James Osborne wants to know, Dev, what's your thoughts on Gary Gardner? I'm guessing he's referring to the sending off. I don't know, but
Gary Gardner or Craig Gardner?
No, Gary didn't get sent off. Gary's the new man in. Now, there's one thing that I wanted to talk about Gary Gardner is the amount of moaners that I've seen on social networks over the last few days. Right, we have got one of the best up and coming managers in the country. Right, and he is signed to us. Now, if he decides to bring Joe Bloggs in, who's a dustman off the streets because he thinks he can play good football, then so be it. The negativity and the moaners, shut up, give yourselves a wobble, give your head a wobble, for goodness sake. I can't be done with it.
Don't you think it was the case that, you know, he's the 100% card carrying Villaphone?
So be it. If he can play football and does a job for our badge with our shirt on his back, then I will support him 100%. I am absolutely torn by the people. There's some of the comments that, are just absolutely abject.
Yeah, I think, like you say, Gary Monk's done fantastic since he come in, and one thing we've got to do is get behind him and trust his judgment. He's been
every judgment.
He's been excellent so far. We've got to give Gary a chance. Obviously, hopefully he hits the ground running. What's gone on in the past is the past. He's wearing a blue shirt now, and hopefully he'll give his all for us, and we'll reap the rewards of having a player there that wants to play football.
Dave Osborne, best up and coming manager, worst midfield. Hopefully Gary will improve us, but I'm sure that's what he's all about. How much time will the manager be given if Blues don't win? Is it true we have to pay Stockdale extra performer? I don't know. We'll come back onto that one shortly. And the other. Very funny if you turn the TV on with Mr. Fun's face on it. Could you superimpose
that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get that done. Okay. Somebody else said it's driven them mad over the weekend as well. It's absolutely wrong. Mike Prince, much agreed. Nick sent me mad about Gary. He is now a Birmingham City player.
Yeah.
Right. Full stop. Right. Get over it. Get over where he come from. We've swapped players. We've swapped managers in the past. Yeah. Ron Saunders and obviously Brucey McLeish has gone.
You look at it really simply, and most players that play for the clubs don't support that club. You might get the odd one or two.
Yeah.
Brummies, myself, Tighty, Darren Carter down the years, and you can reel them off. But majority of the team don't support Blues anyway, like the dude that plays for Liverpool won't support Liverpool, Man U don't support Man U, so it is a bit different obviously with it being Villa Blues, but we can't let that sort of creep in now and be a negative when we need everyone pulling in the same direction.
It's just absolutely critical for us now. Well said, Nick. Keep right on. Alan Minnick, Kevin Smith. Here, Nick. It's sick of the moaners constantly slagging off players. Mick Greaves is happy with Gary Gardner. I'm happy with Gary Gardner. Matt John says, Devlin, you legend. Or is that legend?
Legend.
Can't determine that one. We're always overrunning midfield, says Paul Gill. Need to think about how he sets up and how to fight for the ball back when we haven't got it. And Ndoye wasn't the answer Saturday. I think Ndoye was specifically put in as a tall man just to do the job.
Yeah,
up against, because they got some big guys.
Yeah,
on well.
if you look historically, Tony Pulis has always got big physical teams, and obviously, he would have been thinking that Ndoye can combat that. I don't think it's really quite happened for him since he's come to the club, but he does bring that presence with him. But like I say, I mean, it was always going to be a difficult ask to go to Middlesbrough and get something out of the game, and I think Chris said at the start, or you said, Nick, at the start, if you go 1-0 down against any Tony Pulis team, you've got it to do. Yeah,
Kev French, every player supports a certain team. Get over it. So if he doesn't get performance related, then that's a Stockdale issue again. We'll come back to that later. Who cares where he comes from? He's wearing the blue and white shirt. That's what matters, Stephen Gill. You are absolutely right. Will the moaners please put your keyboards away, because you are destructive.
I think that's one thing I will say about Gary Gardner. He's had a hell of a lot of loan moves. How old is he now?
26.
20. He's not a kid anymore. I think he needs to find a home. Yeah. He needs to go somewhere, settle and play there, rather than going here, there and there. He seems to be at a different club each season on loan, so hopefully, he can come here and do really well.
Absolutely. Yeah. As somebody mentioned earlier, that I did put a list up of the players who have played for both clubs.
Yes, you did. There's a very long list as well.
40.
It's a very long list.
Yeah.
And does it matter? Does it really matter?
No, not really. If they come here and they do well, it's it's more power to us.
I put on Saturday. I wanted him to play on Saturday. To be fair, I want to bag 3.
Yeah.
Right, and then just shove it up the moaner's back.
Well, I think that's right. He needs to have a good start, doesn't he? A good first month, and that and I think that will help with people with a little bit of the negativity.
Kev Kelly wants to know if I've signed your cap.
I've signed my cap.
No, I've signed your
cap. Not yet.
No, not yet.
Kevin said it's his 8th season out on loan.
Yeah, now to me, at 26, 27, you want to be an established first team player at your own club. So I think it's not a make or break move for him, but I think he'll be looking at it thinking, right, okay, can I come here and make a name for myself?
It could be a make move for us, couldn't it? That's the thing, he's all he's got to do is fit into that squad.
That's right.
Right, work hard, work his socks off, right, and give everything for those 90 minutes or however long he's on.
Well, there's an opportunity there for him, isn't there? Yeah. There's a big opportunity, and it's up to him to take it now.
Hello to Richard in Miami.
Miami.
Nice.
Richard in Miami, thank you for joining us. That's southern tip of Florida, of course.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Gary Barnfield says Ron Saunders has Alzheimer's now. Sadly, can't remember anything anymore. He's 85 years old. I've seen this today. Well, bless him. You know, great manager.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, I lived next door to Desi Bremner and Tony Morley just round the corner for 16 years. So obviously they know Ron really well. You know, that going back to that Villa team of the early 80s and speak very highly of him.
Steve Portman says, I think the head teacher at Shirestown Academy would love to sign Keep Right On hat. Alleges us to be a Villa fan but loved meeting Mr. Devlin.
All right.
He's in the queue. He's in the queue.
And Kevin says, hello from Tamworth.
Not quite Miami, is it? Tamworth.
It's just not got that ring to it, has it?
No.
Miami, Tamworth. Miami, Tamworth. No.
Had many a good night in Tamworth when I played for them, though.
Is there anything we can broadcast?
No.
I don't think so.
Jez McDonough, cracking call this one. If the moaning fans got down St Andrews and used their voice in the right way, we can have that place rocking again. I applaud you. I absolutely applaud you,
What a great
Jez.
question this is for Dev. Devlin, would you have played for the Villa to get playing time?
To get playing time, do you want the honest answer?
Yeah, absolute honest answer, yes.
Yeah, I would have done. I would have. I think as a player, I mean, obviously, if you support Blues or you support Villa, you want to play for Blues or Villa. But I think as a player, you can't afford not to turn down chances to go and play football. So I think if you're going to a club, and that's any club, not just Villa, and you know you're going to play, then you want to go. I mean, the reason why I left Blues a second time was Steve. I'd turned 30. I think it was 30, 31, and I still had 2 years left on my contract. And Steve Bruce says, "Listen, I want you to stay, see you 2 years out, but you're not going to play every week." Well, that was all he needed to say to me because I wanted to be a footballer because I wanted to play.
That was opening the door, wasn't it?
I was opening the door.
In a very nice way.
It was brilliant because I could have quite easily stayed, sat on the 2 years, picked my money up and played the odd game. I mean, people further down the pecking order were like Brian Hughes and people like that went on to play another 60, 70 games for the club. But as soon as he told me that, I wanted to go and I went and had 3 years at Watford and played a lot more football. So you want to play. I mean, I never understand it with players that are content to sit on the bench. And I have this conversation with Jeff Horsfield a lot. We were nightmares if we were out the team. If we were playing crap and we deserved to be dropped, then fair enough. But we were banging the manager's door and we wanted to play. And I think in this day and age, you see far too many first team players that are content not to play. And it's a short career. I speak from experience. It goes in the blink of an eye. 10, 15 years, and you can't do it anymore. So I never understand players that don't want to go out and play.
And in the grand scheme of things, 10 to 15 years just isn't a long time, is it?
No. I was lucky. I was lucky. I had 14 or 15 years. But I think in the PFA, they come out with all these statistics. The average career is 7 or 8 years if you take everyone across the board, which is nothing.
Paper rounds on them.
Well, that's it. And you want to look. You want to look back in your career and say, well, I played X amount, 100 of games, and I played in that game, and I played in that game. You don't want to sit back and say, well, I earned this amount of money, but I only played 50, 60, 70 games.
Yeah.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and all the moaners out there. Please be quiet, because Paul Devlin, our legend, the man that he is, as stated, he would have gone across the A38 and played for them for game time.
And scored a couple of own goals.
Please. Welcome Gary Gardner with open arms. Please. Yeah. James Brown, if Gary Gardner can hit his potential and stay fit, we've got ourselves a right gem. He might be a Villa player. Well, he's not. He's actually a Blues player. But he has the capability to run our midfield and create opportunities we lack in the middle. Good move for me. He's got an opportunity now over the next 3 weeks with his brother missing, hasn't he?
Well, that's it, yeah. Inadvertently, he's opened the door for him there, but he needs to grab the opportunity now. He needs to go in there, if selected, and grab the ball by the horns and hopefully try and make him want to sign him permanently, if that's the case.
Phil Darcy reckons you should get your boots on and come out of retirement. Could you do that nowadays?
I could probably play about 6 minutes. 6? No, I still keep myself reasonably fit.
No, hang on, 6 minutes is a lifetime for me. That's a very long time. I can't even stand up for 6 minutes.
I might not be able to move for about 3 days after it.
Right, okay.
God, Peter Taylor, the Birmingham Mail headline tomorrow. Paul Devlin wanted chance to play for Villa. That's the sort of thing you'd see.
Yeah, but look. Again, because we're like free, we've asked an honest question. Yeah. You've actually delivered a very honest answer.
I think if
only for game time.
Yeah, I think if you asked any player, We'd all, I could have sat here and said, no way, I'd never have gone there, most players, in fact, all players, I didn't come across any player in my career that if they got the chance of a move somewhere and they were going to play, they'd turn it down on the fact that they didn't like that club. Because you want to play.
Yeah, I think you're spot on.
Right, okay. Kev Smith said, someone said earlier, 2 games in, same old Blues. It's 2 games in. Yes, we threw points away versus Norwich. We only lost 1-0 against Borough, who are a team will be up there at the end of the season, and we haven't played that bad in either game. Now, I've seen the highlights of both games, right? 'Cause I didn't go to the first one because I was decorating a very disabled man's house, and I didn't want to leave him over the weekend in a mess, so I decided to go in and do it Saturday and the Sunday. But I will be going on Friday. Can't get down to Reading tomorrow. And we haven't played that bad in either game. I don't think we've played too bad in either game, to be honest with you. Birmingham City supporter is the key word. Stop slagging the team and players. Couldn't agree more, Steve. Couldn't agree more. But I think we've played all right, to be fair.
Well, like I saw the Norwich game. I saw the highlights of the Middlesbrough game, but I thought we were the better team.
First game back.
It wasn't a great game from both teams, but I thought second half we were the better team. We created the better chances, but in the way which we conceded the second equaliser, it almost feels like you've been beat. So I think we were really unlucky. Although the second equaliser was a bit of a joke, to be honest with you. I wasn't too disheartened with the performance against Norwich. Obviously, I didn't see the whole performance against Middlesbrough, but I'm not tuned down. But at the end of the day, we're 2 or 3 games in. Yeah. I'm still quite hopeful, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, Kev Kelly says FFP Sheffield Wednesday under embargo too.
I think there's a few.
There's about 7, I think. But
I heard
it's
there's
been very
a lot.
quiet. You don't really get to hear a lot of news, do you? It was only kind of that somebody kind of broke our news, but I think we were all pretty much already guessing what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But then a certain person sort of came out and went very public with it. So, why haven't you joined our Super 6 League? Do you do Super 6?
No, what's that?
You don't do Super 6?
No.
It's a Sky app on your phone, and you guess 6 results, and you get 5 points if you get the result right. So 2-0, you get 5 points. 2-0, you guess 1-0, you'll get 2 points. Yeah.
Okay.
And you guess all 6 right, and you guess the minute the goal went in, you win yourself. Is it £250,000?
£250,000.
And it's
So
free.
you've got to guess the score and the
And it
minutes.
doesn't cost anything.
The score of
Doesn't cost anything,
6.
though.
Right now, last year, my son got the moment the goal went in, and 5.
Yeah.
And then somebody scored right at the end. I said, I won it.
Dear me.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be miles away than that close.
Poor Luke. He still talks about it to this day.
Matty from the Birmingham Home support team, Birmingham Homeless support team, has just messaged me and says that you'd fit in quite well coming out with us on a Tuesday night.
Well, we've committed to doing it, so as and when Matty gives us the
Tuesday
day,
night?
On a Tuesday
night. So
in the future.
the Tilton Talk Show team, when Mr. Fun's back, are going to go around with meeting the homeless guys and
just handing out stuff and whatever.
give them a word of encouragement here and there,
No worries.
And don't forget, guys, if you can do anything for BHST, which is our chosen charity of the month of August 2018, please do. Just read the red ticker tape at the bottom when it comes through. And don't forget that Tracy and Wendy Mills are still looking for a printer for a charity calendar. They want to get this off the ground for their cancer research.
They're basically going to get the boobs out.
They're going to get the boobs out, yeah. Is that something you'd like to be involved in?
What, watching there? Or me getting my boobs out?
Not so much you getting your boobs out, but like, perhaps like you doing what do they call? They call
you can hold the balls
photobombing. Photobombing. But it's all about awareness on breast cancer and this and the other.
Anything for a cause like that, I think is good.
Now you've got a charity of your own.
Well, not a charity. No. We've got a Just Giving page for my daughter. Yeah, my daughter talked about it with Gabby and Chris in the past. She was taken very ill just before Christmas, and since been diagnosed with Addison's disease, which is a lifelong, life-threatening disease, which requires obviously quite serious treatment over the course of her life. So we've put a couple of events on to try and raise a few quid for future treatments. We've got a game on the 21st of October at Tally Ho. Against Wolves Old Boys.
Where's the Tally Ho?
Edgbaston. It's the police ground. It's a good facility. So I think Ian Danta said he's going to play. Glimper now, Wayne Alcock, Frankie Gavin. So as well as
I can
some
bring
Blues
a
Old
microphone.
Boys. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could hold a microphone, no problem.
right.
As long as I've got a chair.
Yeah. A chair.
I know I need a chair. I couldn't stand up. For that.
Yeah, so we got that, and then on the 12th of October, we've got a sort of reggae Q&A night where we've got a John Holt tribute act, and myself and a few blues players are doing a Q&A, and Tom Ross is hosting it with an auction and a raffle as well, and that's sold out. I'm glad to say that's sold out. So that's at the Tally Ho again as well. So it's gone great. Yeah.
Just so you know, we're doing our bit as well, because I've got a signed limited print that Colin Tatum's got at the moment.
Brilliant.
So thanks to Colin for organising that for us.
He's got all the signatures and that one. So
fantastic.
We're going to get it
But
framed.
he wanted to hold on, obviously, with some of the new guys coming in.
Yeah,
so he
brilliant.
said, if you don't mind, we'll just hold on to it
Yeah,
for a little
fantastic.
Yeah, just want to hang on a bit. So we're going to get that framed, and then we're going to get it auctioned off. And that
Brilliant.
So raise it.
And me with my 6 minutes, Ian Lomas says, Nick, you're never sober for 6 minutes.
Yeah, what's the Just Giving page? Do you know it offhand?
I don't know it offhand,
I'll
mate.
find out.
I don't know it offhand.
We'll find out the Just Giving page and we'll put it live on the red ticker and
Yeah.
we'll leave it just scrolling away.
Okay, right, great.
Sorry, the court. How much more room have we got on that ticker?
I can put as much as I like.
All right, okay. We'll just
As
leave
much
it
as I
there
like,
throughout the course of the season. And
Great, lovely,
Smashing.
thank you.
so how is the little one?
Yeah, she's been okay. Now the weather's cooled down a little bit. She's better. The heat was quite a big thing for her, especially when she was at school and that. So we get good days and bad days with it because of the nature of the illness she's got.
So
And
what does Addison's affect?
basically, it destroys your adrenal glands,
Oh,
so
right.
you don't produce cortisol, which is basically anything stressful. That could be infection, illness, travelling, a bump on the head, falling over, fatigue. Is potentially life-threatening for her.
Bless
So and also she has problems regulating the salt in her body, so she has to take fluorocortisone as well for that. So it's quite serious. It's something that stopped us in our tracks, to be honest. So you never really think that you're going to go through something like that.
No, and thankfully I've got 4 kids, 3 lovely grandchildren, and they've all,
Yeah.
But
But the good thing is
healthy all the
she's
way
here. We didn't think when she had the adrenal crisis and she was taken ill, I don't think really anyone thought she was going to make it. So the good thing is she's here, and we can manage it and help her as much as we can.
How old is she?
She's 12.
12. So, right, okay, we'll get that Just Giving page up on the ticker tape very shortly. And if there's anything you can do to help or for any of these events, and if you leave us a list of these events,
Yeah.
and we'll advertise them week in and week
Brilliant.
out
Thanks.
until such time as they've done their course.
Okay.
And hopefully we can all make a little difference. Where am I sitting Friday, Nick? I shall be in the Tilton probably Friday. Just find me. Find me. Thanks ever so much, Mrs. Brown, for putting me that picture up last week of me in the old Tilton Road. Brilliant. I love
right,
that.
yeah.
I didn't actually realise that you got Check and Doy behind me. So
Yes.
it's just the things this man does. I tell you what, he's crazy. He's a right nutter. Dear. Need to get a win tomorrow to get some momentum for Friday. I'd rather see a win Friday than a win tomorrow, personally.
Definitely, yeah. I'd rather see us beat Swansea on Friday. It'd be nice to get 2 wins,
Well,
being
you would.
a bit greedy.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big, difficult place to go, Reading away. But like I say, I think if Gary Monk's being honest, his priority will probably be Friday as well.
I think everybody, all supporters,
Yeah.
all supporters' priority's got to be Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we loved the Carling Cup when we won it, but why not? We're not in a position this season, I think, to drag out too many games.
No, not when you look at the squad. No.
Yeah.
Is that right that Graham Potter's gone to Swansea?
Yeah, he's a manager there now.
Who's that, Graham Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, don't forget what you got to do is share this on your personal Facebook page. Just your personal Facebook page to win a chance to win a prize next week. And have you got the
I'm going to
the Trillion trophy
Yes.
on the Trillion talk show?
I'm going to finish.
Talk
I'm going to
show.
finish off that in a second. Yeah.
You're going to finish that off in a second. Okay, we'll do that in the second half then. Wes Harding, cracking season he had end of last year. A real potential, that one.
Yeah, it was. I think he can count himself a little bit unlucky to have been left out for the first game as well. I mean, I do really like Maxine Collin. I think he's one of the best fullbacks in the league, and obviously towards the end of last season, Harding coming at right back and he switched him to left back.
Yeah.
Now obviously with Pedersen coming in, he's going to play him. You're not going to bring someone in and not play him. And obviously, Colin's gone in there, so he's unfortunate, but a good talent. It wouldn't surprise me if he matured into a centre half. But yeah, unfortunate really.
Do many players kind of migrate?
Yeah, they do. I think as they break through as young kids, obviously as you get older into sort of mid to late 20s, you sort of fill out. Older. You get your man strength. You know what I mean? So I think that they can develop into different positions.
Dave, I've had 2 posts now.
Go on then.
Or 3 posts asking about the Dugarry story.
Which one? Which one?
Which one's the juiciest?
Oh fuck! I can't tell you one. I can tell you the one where he was in training and he just wouldn't do anything. But there's a few. Christoph was great. He was a character. But there was a couple of good stories. He was a bit of a free spirit to say the least. Christoph. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. Go on, tell us.
Oh, I'll tell you the clean one. The one that I can tell you. We were all training up at Wast Hills one time, and we had a gym, not like it is now. It wasn't anywhere near as nice. And we had this barmy physio called Neil McDermott, who was the best physio I ever worked with. But he was crackers. He was a fitness fanatic. So when we had a Saturday game, Brucey would say, right, you're going to work your nuts off on Tuesday and have Wednesday off. So all the lads, great. We don't mind, putting ourselves through it on a Tuesday. We're going to get Wednesday off. All planning where we're going out on Tuesday night for a beer. So he's got us doing a big circuit in the gym, and everyone's in there going mad, and we're in pairs and weights and rowing machines, and everyone's just like something out of a Rocky film. So where's Christoph? Now Brucey was anybody late, and Brucey didn't like it. He was really one for timekeeping. So 20 minutes go by, the 24 half hour. Then Christoph just pops. We had the long hair. Just pops his head round the door like that, drinking a cup of tea. Pops his head round the door. So Brucey's in the corner over there. Neil McDermott's going. I'll say the clean version of what he said to him. Christoph, you're late. You're late. Once whoever, I think it might have been Jeff Horsfield. Once Jeff's finished on that rower, you jump on there. And they were doing 1 minute on one, whatever. And he just like took a sip of his tea, looked at it, he went, said footballer, not rower, and just went out, sat back down. So we were all looking at Brucey, thinking, oh, he's going to get mad. And he just went, when you lot win the World Cup, you can do that. Carry on. So there was a few things like that brilliant with Christoph, but I mean, the first sort of year he was there, he was brilliant, Christoph.
Okay, that's the clean one then.
Yeah, that's the clean one.
That's the clean one. We won't talk about the other one.
We'll do the one off mic later.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I've heard it.
Yeah. You've heard it, have you? Is it a version that we could clean up and report on next week?
Not really.
Probably,
no? Okay,
probably
okay.
Not,
We'll have to leave it for where it is. Matty BCFC from the BHST says, nice one, Devs. Thanks for all your help and support, and to the guys at the Tilton Talk Show. And Ray says, no grounds is left. I'd like to see Pedersen go past the opposing fullback.
Yeah, I think you've got to give him time to settle in, haven't you? It's early days.
Really need, I mean, I've never been a professional sportsman in my life. Yeah, do you really need a lot of time to settle in?
I think more so with your teammates and the area and things like that. Obviously, he's coming to a new place, new team, new training. So
new country as well, yeah.
Yeah, new country. So you do need time to settle in. I think that the actual football side of it's probably the easiest out of the lot, but it's everything that goes with it. So I think you've got to give him a bit of leeway for 4 or 5 games, and then you'd like to think half a dozen games under his belt, and we'll be seeing the best of him and what he can offer.
I think he'll be a good one, personally.
It's going to take him time to adjust to the pace of the Championship.
Kev Kelly is concerned that 2 games in, Jack Magoma has been man of the match for both. Isn't that where we were end of last season? What if Jack Magoma gets man of the match? Jack Magoma gets man of the match.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good player. So
I don't think I've got an issue with that.
No.
When's Ren coming in? Have you seen that
here.
one? He's here. He's here. Look. TV Ren.
Don't forget we've got these hats as well.
Yeah, all you got to do is come up with something really, I think really funny. Okay. We'll have the really funny ones. Yeah, we've got 5 hats to give away. Dev's going to sign each one of them. They are the yellow and blue Keep Right On hats, and they will be obviously quite unique once they're all signed.
Nice. I'll get one here. Just have a little look. So they're good.
Jez McDonough says, a massive keep right on to your daughter Devs. God bless your daughter Dev and your family, pal. Keep right on.
Cheers,
not care about this cup. Who cares? In Fontaine, yeah, I'm pretty much the same as that one.
We cared when we won it.
We did, but I just don't think we're in a position to win it again. No. And that was like our day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that was a. We've had the Leyland Daft, we've had the auto windscreens, we've had, people laugh at you, but these were massive occasions for us as Birmingham City fans.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. I mean, there's not many supporters that can say they've actually seen their team win a big trophy,
No.
which, you know, believe it or not, the League Cup still is a big trophy.
Well, I've seen
So-
Blues win 3 trophies at Wembley,
Yeah, well,
And
brilliant.
yeah.
get robbed at the Millennium,
Yeah.
and then get promoted at the Millennium. So,
Yeah.
you know, how lucky have I been, really?
No, yeah.
You know? And if you were like I don't know, well, let's think of a team that, you know, well, Middlesbrough, I mean, they've not won a lot, have they?
And they won the League Cup, didn't they, a few years ago? But I mean, you look at, you know, people in the lower leagues, you know, Rochdale fans, Peterborough fans, people like that. They realistically watch their team forever and never see them win anything. Maybe the odd promotion here and there. So, you know, we're lucky.
That's a good one. Dennis wants to know, how does Dev think he would play in the Blues team of today? And which B6 player did you go for in the derby?
Anyone, any of them. I wasn't picky. Anyone. I remember coming on at Villa Park and I got booked before I touched the ball the night we won 2-0. I forget who it was. I smashed into someone.
Keen.
How would I play in the Blues team today? Is that what you're saying? I'd like to think I'd fit in well. You know, I'd like to think I'd fit in well wherever I went. And I was quite fortunate as a wide man, really, which is what I was as a winger. I think my goal record stands up, you know, with any wingers. You know, over 100 goals in 500 games for a predominantly right winger was quite good. So, I'd love to have the chance to play again. But you know, I loved my time playing, and I played with some fantastic players. But you're always confident in your own ability. I think it's really difficult to compare different eras. Because at the end of the day, you know, you can go back and say, how would Stanley Matthews do today, and how would George Best do today, and you know, different things like that. But what player would I have gone for when I was playing? Well, the one that really annoyed me when the first year we got up was Melberg, because when we was doing a lot of the press leading up to the first game, the Monday night game at St Andrews, myself and Michael Johnson and him and Ian Taylor went and did a bit for I can't remember, it was for the telly or the Evening Mail now, and he was just so dismissive and so arrogant about Blues. So he would have been the one that I would have liked to have kicked, to be honest. I can't remember whether it was him that I kicked at Villa Park. But they got a rude awakening when we beat them 3-0 and then 2-0. So that was nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, happy memories.
Not just nice, beautiful.
Happy. I mean, that Monday night game, I still can picture it in my mind now, and it just felt like the whole ground was bouncing. You know, and you know, you've heard the stories before. We had them beat in the tunnel. They were terrified in the tunnel coming out for that 3-0 game. So,
do you know what? Exactly the same happened to Fulham. But that was due to the amount of noise that we were creating. You know, on the outside, the GM upper was open, and I was up there. Oh my God, the view from up there is outstanding. Please, Blues fans, get this place full again. Come on.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day, wasn't it? And to be honest, we should have beat them more, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So that was great. I couldn't believe actually how we played in that game, and then when they got to the playoff final, the way Villa played against, because we beat them, turning them in behind and getting it long, and Villa let them play in front, played right into their hands.
Just wants to know, in this transfer market, how much, Dev, do you think you'd be worth?
20 quid. No, I don't know. Listen, it's that overinflated, and the prices just aren't realistic, are they? I mean, it's not for me to say.
It's gone stupid.
Yeah, it's gone stupid. I mean, you're getting average players now for 10 million, aren't you? So I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I never went, because I was never really out of contract, and I was always going into the last year. I never really went for big fees, because it was just a case of, well, he's only got 6 months to go. I remember that when I was at Blues the first time, and Middlesbrough and Ipswich and that were interested, and Trevor told me that, you know, we'd only let you go for 2.5-3 million. That was the talk that was about then, but it never happened, and obviously it ended up.
Didn't get on too long.
No, I ended up the relationship fell apart with Trevor, really. So, which was unfortunate, because ideally I wouldn't have wanted to leave Blues the first time and maybe have had 9 or 10 years there, which I could have done if I hadn't left. But a great 4 years at Sheffield United, thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. Actually played more games for Sheffield than I did Blues in 2 spells. So yeah, it's all worked out well in the end. I can't complain.
Stephen, you asked Devs what his favourite goal was.
My favourite goal, I remember in '97 I scored goal of the season away at QPR, which was, I think, came out, and I think I thawed it and volleyed it in from about 20-25 yards. I'd have to say 3. I'd say the QPR one. My second game in my first spell at Blues was a midweek game under the lights against Wolves. Full house, absolutely rocking. My debut was Sunderland, we lost 1-0, and then on the Tuesday night we played Wolves and we won 2-0, and I scored both the goals. That was great. I think obviously the one that most people remember is the Leeds one. Of course, it was the first St Andrews Premiership goal, and obviously we beat a Leeds team that got to the semi-final of the Champions League. So I get asked mostly about the Leeds one, to be honest.
Goosebumps.
Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah, you only need to talk about it, mate.
Yeah, and Damien Johnson's goal was a belter as well that day. That was a great goal, Damien's.
Where is he now? What's he doing?
I think he's coaching at Blackburn.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I think he's doing some sort of coaching. Yeah,
He's a cracking little player.
yeah, Johnson.
Devs, if you have the keep right on cap, the keep right on cap, I'll have yours, says Ray.
He'll have mine. All right, I'll sign mine then.
Very nice
There
of
you
him.
go.
Very nice of him. Quite a few people comment on Vasali's just a few weeks away now, so we've been told today.
I think that'll be a massive plus because
It was a massive loss, wasn't it?
yeah, it's just so unfortunate. I think because he terrifies teams with his
Yeah.
pace, and what that does, teams will play deeper and create more space, leave more space for Magomas and people like that. So big loss, very raw. I just hope that he's made a full recovery. But saying that, he could lose a yard of pace, still be twice as quick as most out there. He's that fast. So I really look forward to having him back in the squad. I think it'll be a massive addition.
I can't wait. He was literally ripping defences
Yeah,
apart.
people were terrified of him.
And then he was
Terrified.
took out.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Did you
But-
ever play against Muscat?
Yeah, loads of times. Loads. Do you know what?
What a
Really
horrible
nice,
player.
really nice fella off the pitch.
Horrible player.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, right.
Yeah, really nice.
Was he all right off the
Good
pitch,
kid.
yeah?
I was big pals with I played with a lad at Sheffield, and he played for West Brom, Sean Murphy. I played with him at Notts County, big Australian. Good mate of Stan Lazaridis, actually.
Yeah,
They both
yeah.
live in Perth now. And he came out with him a couple of times, and he was a real nice fella off the pitch. He was just one of those. As soon as he got onto the pitch, he was a bit of a nutcase, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But no,
Bit of a wind up.
yeah, he was a wind-up. I know Peter Unlove was terrible. He used to give Nuddy nightmares, and I think Nuddy was a bit frightened of him. But he's one of them. You come across him, don't you, down the years? You just have to give as good as you get. Or you have to give a little bit more than what you get.
Brett Stanley saying, Dev, who was the best player you've played with and the best manager you've played for?
Best player I played with, Christoph would have to be up there because obviously you don't
He
get
was
the,
slick, wasn't
yeah
he?
you don't get the chance to play with a European Championship and World Cup winner too often. But I was lucky. I played with people like Dean Saunders down the years, and I actually went on trial as a kid and played for Liverpool reserves with Ian Rush. So I was fortunate. But Christoph would be the standout one, and the two best managers I'd say would be Steve Bruce and Neil Warnock. Both similar, both really good man managers. But yeah, I had about 13 or 14 managers, and most of the time got on with them all. I had Howard Kendall for a spell as well at Notts County. He was very good. So, but those two really, because I had 3 different spells with Brucey as well, and 2 different spells with Neil Warnock. Neil gave me my chance from non-league, which I'll always be grateful to.
Good question here from Ray. Devs, if you was playing today in the current Blues side, which one Blues player you played with would you bring with you? I think you perhaps already answered that, have you?
Yeah, you'd bring Christoph, wouldn't you? I'd think, but I don't know. It just depends what position. Because I could probably name you a player in each position. I'd say, you put Stan in at left side, or Granger, or Jeff Kenner, or Jeff Horsfield. It's hard because obviously, my era in the second spell there, the playoff winning team. I thought that was a fantastic team that had a bit of everything. We had a bit of grit, we had a bit of flair. Real good 100% lads.
You're listening to Trevor Francis on the Tilton Talk Show.
Dennis wants to know who the best manager you've done that one, but who's the biggest prima donna you've played with?
Probably Christoph as well.
He's getting all the
Christoph wins
man of the match tonight, isn't he?
Christoph wins everything hands down. I did used to find there was a lad at Sheffield United, Roger Nielsen, and I did used to find with a lot of the Scandinavian players, if they weren't 100% fit, they just wouldn't play. And I mean 100% fit. If he had a bruise on his leg, he wouldn't play. Whereas you get the homegrown lads who they could have a torn hamstring and the stitches in the leg. No, I'm okay to play. But there wasn't really one prima donna that sticks out. Some you wouldn't want in the trenches with you as much as you would others, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the Boldmere car wash.
The Boldmere. Oh yeah, my missus was telling me about that today. We shan't be going there again. She won't be going there. Or
Is that
she,
is that recently?
today, I think.
today.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
What's happened at the Boldmere car?
No, she's got a people carrier, my missus. So when she goes to this Boldmere car wash, they charge her more money anyway because it's a bigger car.
Which fair enough.
So we were down not last week, the week before. We went to St Ives. So we got 3 kids and all camping going. So you can imagine there's a bit of sand in the back of the car, in the boot. So she's gone to, after waiting for, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours today. She's gone to pick it up. So same thing again. Yeah, it's £20. It's a bigger car. Yeah, okay. So she's paid the £20. She's gone back and the bloke's pulled. He's gone, I ain't cleaning that. So what are you on about? Cleaning the sand? Why should I clean up after your holidays? So, well, I've bought my car to get washed. So she paid the £20 extra. And he says, no, well, I'm only doing it for another £5. So in the end, she went, no, Sadie. Well, I wouldn't say she said Sadie. She said, no, I'm not doing it. She said, well, in the end, he'd done it. I said, I'll do it this one time, but I shouldn't be looking to clean up after you. So a car wash with a vacuum car doesn't seem right. But apparently his attitude was terrible. But I've seen my missus's Facebook. There's one or two put a few comments out about him there that just greed, really.
And now he's famous on the Tilton Talk Show.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Don't go there, don't go there.
The Boldmere car wash is now known all over the world, in Miami, in New York,
New Zealand,
in Australia, New Zealand, you name it, and of course in Tamworth.
Yeah,
Tamworth. How many Scottish caps did you get?
10.
10.
Yeah.
You got 10.
10, which was nice because I didn't get my first cap till 30, so I thought it had passed me by. So to get 10 caps was good.
I sat in Kenny Burns' front living room, and God, this is way before I did any of this. Like, we're going back 25 years at least. And he said, I'll go upstairs and get me bits and pieces. And they came down, I was like, it was like gobsmacked, you know what I mean? Great.
Well, I'll be with Kenny in a few weeks. Hopefully, it's the.
Can you please get Kenny to contact me? Well, Kenny knows me very well.
Yeah.
Right? I used to give him a lift to the Blues from where we lived up in near Utox, right? And there's me driving Kenny Burns to Birmingham City, like feeling, you know.
Oh, he's got some great stories as well,
Feeling
Kenny.
as high as I possibly can. And we get sick. He goes, right, see ya. I said, well, where are you going? Oh, I'm off at the bar. He says, I said, well, I thought you was going to sit with me in the Tilton.
Well, if you came in, would it have to be subtitled?
It would, from start to finish.
But I tell you what, you're on about what players are worth. What would Kenny be worth in today's market?
It's incredible.
Play anywhere.
Incredible.
You know, the last time I saw Kenny and had a drink with Kenny, and it's coming up soon as well. I'm looking forward to it because Bertie Olds down as well, who's a big hero of mine, and my dad's with the Celtic connection. We have the former players golf day on the 21st of September at Alton, and then we go back to St John's and we have a do, and then all the old players go to the game on the Saturday. So the last time, I think I was about 3:30, 4 in the morning. I got Kenny Burns one side of me, Liam Dyche the other side, and we're having a beer. And Kenny's telling us all his Brian Clough stories.
Oh, mate,
and all that.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Chris Brown, as short as your hair is, believe me, some of them would make that curl.
Oh, I know.
It really would.
Well, I mean, I still have to pinch myself sometimes when I go to the golf day and you got Tony Colton and Mick Harford there, you know, players that I looked up to when I was a kid. And I'm still a little bit awestruck when I'm stood next to those sort of players, being a fan watching them years ago.
In the days when I could play football, not at any specific level, but I could just about run for about 12 minutes, I actually, a group of about 20 of us used to meet on this football field just outside town. On Tuesday night, just have a kick around. Yeah. This one night I said to Kenny, I says, come and have a game with us. Hey, you'll do that. So I picked him up after we went. Right, because we were all in their 20s, right? All the lads are going, oh, Nick's got this old bloke with him. This old bloke, look, he's got no hair. He's got no hair. And
did he kick anyone?
Well, I said that I'll have my mate on my side if that's all right. So, like, you know, boom. And I just flicked the ball to him from the centre. He kicked it up, boom, passed it to me. I just oiked it in the air anywhere. He was on the end of it, mate. It was straight in the back of the net.
Oh,
straight in the back of the net. And then the lads were just like bamboozled. They just went, we see what you've
Ringer.
done here. We know what you've done here. And then in the second half, I went in goal and he hit the ball that hard. I didn't even see it come. It smashed me full on in the face. And I went down like a ton of bricks, believe me. And it comes up, yeah, right. I stopped it, didn't I?
No, a great fella, Kenny.
Yeah, nice man, yeah.
Tremendous
more
player.
teeth now than when he was playing.
That weren't difficult though, was it?
No.
Yeah. But, like I say, what would you give for one of them in your team?
Well, you look back to that era, Trevor, Latchford, Hatton, you know, Ken, I thought it'd be, you know, tens and tens of millions, wouldn't they, in today's market?
Great times.
Great times, anyway. Yeah, so if you do see Kenny, tell him the Tilton Talk Show are
I will
after
do.
him.
I will
The
do.
Talk Show are after him. We'd love to get him in for an evening.
Yeah.
We will tell him that that's got alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I put a 1 in front of the 0
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
So they'll look at it. It's
Don't
10%.
give him that alcohol-free
It's
beer.
10%. I'll have that. What made you choose Scotland over England? Jez McDonough wants to know.
I was never good enough to play for England, probably. No, never got asked. To be honest with you, somebody asked earlier on about playing for the Villa and Blues, but I think if I was ever good enough to have played for England or Scotland, my dad would have never forgive me if I'd applied for England. But I had the chance.
So your dad was Scottish, yeah?
Yeah, Glasgow.
Okay.
My dad and all that side of the family are all a place called Coatbridge, just outside Glasgow.
Glasgow, yeah.
But when I was in my first spell at Blues, Mick McCarthy rang me, and I think it was Brian Hamilton. Well, it's obviously both North and Southern Ireland, and they both wanted me in their squad. Then, and that, that was my early 20s, but FIFA changed the rules that season where you could only go back as far as your grandparents. Now, my great-grandparents were Irish.
Right.
So if I'd have got in a year before, I could have played for, obviously, the Republic or Northern Ireland, but I couldn't qualify. And I remember Mick McCarthy ringing me the morning that he announced his first squad to see if I could get in. So that was unfortunate, and then I ended up having to wait.
So how did you actually get the call then? Was you say Mick McCarthy?
The Scotland manager.
Yeah.
No, it was Bertie Vogts.
Oh, right, okay.
Bertie Vogts.
So what was the process?
Yeah,
involved in
we'd
that?
got promoted, and I, obviously first few games in the Premiership I'd done well because I missed the first 3 games because I was suspended, and then somebody told me, Archie Knox is down watching you today. He's scouting for Scotland, and as luck as I had it, my dad was actually sat behind him. So he could hear the conversation Archie Knox was having, relaying back to whoever he was speaking to at the SFA, and it was all positive. So that was on the Saturday, and on the Monday I got a phone call from Bertie Vogts. Would I be interested in representing Scotland? Obviously jumped at the chance, and then the next thing you get a letter through a couple of days later telling all official and that, and that was it. So it was great because obviously missing out on the Ireland chance in my early 20s. I wasn't playing any better than I'd played for the previous 10 years. It was just purely the fact that I was doing it in the Premiership now was the final little nudge to... Because there'd been rumours about Craig Brown giving me a cap down the years at Sheffield United and it never come off. And then when you get to 30, you think it's passed you by, to be honest. So it was nice, to get the chance to finally do it.
10 caps?
Yeah, 10 caps.
Any
yeah.
goals?
No, I didn't score. Just got 10 caps.
And what teams did you play against?
I played some good teams. We played in the qualifiers. I played in the qualifiers for Portugal, so we played like Germany. We drew 1-1 at Hampden with Germany.
What year was this?
About 2001, 2002, something like that. 2002. Yeah, no, probably 2002, 2003. I think 2004 was Portugal, wasn't it? The Euro. So it would have been that campaign. Played against Holland, Lithuania, Portugal away. Played some other great ones as well, Lithuania, Faroe Islands, Iceland.
Really
So yeah, bit of a mixed bag really. 3 or 4 really good top teams and 3 or 4 of the lesser teams. But it was just a great experience to play at that level in something that big in it. And Hampden, a full house at Hampden is something to behold, to be honest.
Yeah, when old Flower of Scotland rings round.
Brilliant, yeah, fantastic. I mean, it does bring a lump to your throat and make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up when the belting.
You've got Scotland with Flower of Scotland.
Yeah.
Wales with their one.
Yeah, their one.
And then you've got us with our 4 lines of God Save the Queen, and it's all over in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a bit dreary, to say the least. Yeah,
it's about time it has changed. I reckon when Madge drops dead, I reckon we ought to.
I think so. I think they need to liven it up a little bit, don't they?
Bit of Jerusalem or something. Like that.
Something a bit more lively.
Yeah.
Just wants to know when the book's coming out.
If I was to write a book, I think there'd be instantly 20 to 30 divorces. It's funny because when I meet up with some of the old lads and we go out, the best stories you can never tell because it's just get too many people in trouble. People try to sanitize when they talk about football, sanitize it and whitewash it and all that. But let me tell you, some of the goings on you wouldn't believe in the game, honestly. From when I was playing, good job there wasn't camera phones and social media around.
Land of our fathers, St. Steve Smith.
Land of our fathers, yeah.
Out of 10, what would you give Gabby Cabby in his football knowledge?
It's got to be 10, the man, ain't it? It's got to be 10.
He's right up there, isn't he?
Got to be 10. Who's asked that one? Gabby?
No, Dennis.
He'll never talk to me again unless I say 10.
Nah, incredibly knowledgeable man. I wish I had a quarter of his memory, honestly. I'm terrible, awful. If I don't research it, I ain't got it.
I'm
so
not
I
the
just
best.
can't remember it. What was your first goal for us? I remember your first against Wolves in 1995, says Paul.
That was it, yeah. That was it.
That was your first goal for us?
That was my first goal. And an interesting story, when Barry came to sign me, I don't know if you remember, but it was after we lost the penalty shootout at Liverpool. Blues had a spell where they missed a ridiculous amount of penalties in a few games.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, they were missing.
Yeah.
And one of Baz's I'll put it in a way that I can without, you can imagine the expletives at Baz.
Yes, I can.
Can you take penalties? Yeah, he said, well, that's it, you're in then. So, and we got a penalty that night as well. Scored the first goal, and we signed another lad called Paul Barnes. I remember it was a good move. He's put it in, and I've managed to get in and scored the penalty. So, and it's mad, because I always say to my lad, whenever it pops up now and again, those two goals, you look at the pitch at St Andrews, and there wasn't a blade of grass on the pitch. Just a Monday night, but it was, just remember, it was packed to the rafters, and obviously local derby. They had Bully and Goodman and all that. So, it was a real good game. Great to get off to a flyer.
I'd have been up the old cop with my hair on.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Brilliant night.
What was your last goal for the Blues?
Last goal for the Blues. Oh God, now you're asking. I think it was penalty away at Spurs.
So penalty start, penalty finish.
No, it was penalty. Was second goal.
Oh, second goal.
Yeah,
right.
I think it was a penalty away at Spurs. It was the game. Do you remember when we had Andy Marriott on loan and he dropped the ball and Robbie Keane run round and got it from behind? That was that game.
Oh yeah.
So that was my last goal. I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Penalty specialist.
Yeah.
Really. What's it like? I mean, I scored in front of the Tilton the other week. Yeah, there was not so many people there.
Yeah.
On the open, not the training day. Was it the training day, Chris? No?
Sorry?
Was it not the open training day? It was another kids
was
need both parents day. Came and I did manage to score a goal in front of the Tilton, and I just imagined the roar.
Well, there's nothing. I was saying to my lad the other day, we were watching football, and I said, there's nothing like that feeling of scoring a goal. It's I think, on a serious note, I think that's why a lot of players struggle after football, because they can never replicate that high. Not even scoring a goal, going out and having 25, 30, 40, 50,000 people cheering you. It's really hard to replicate.
Same
that.
for a supporter,
Yeah, but as a supporter, you can do it forever. As a player, you can't.
You can go back and hope they score again.
Yeah, you can
absolutely.
go back and hope they score again. But yeah, I mean, and I always laugh as well when people criticise players for missing penalties when they say, "Oh, you're professional foot." Let me tell you.
Listen, I took a penalty against that lad,
It's
mate. He
nerve-wracking.
saved it. He saved the first one.
Well,
Our own Mr. Fun took a penalty against our Blues ladies goalkeeper. And she saved it, I tell you.
Well, let me tell you, that goal, when there's a bit of pressure on it and it's a big game, I mean, taking that penalty in the playoff final, the goal looked about that big and the keeper looks that big. So I'd never ever slag anyone for missing a penalty in a big game.
And for Darren Carter to do it at such a young age as well.
Oh, yeah. But I was confident because we'd practiced penalties religiously every day for about 2 or 3 weeks leading up to that. And we had some good penalty takers, some real good penalty takers. So I was confident.
Proper day out that was.
Yeah. Well,
So
proper.
down the middle, was it?
Always blasted my penalties to my left. Always blasted them. It was a proper 4 days out for us, not proper day out. We was out for about 4 days.
Yeah. Right. Anyone want to rent to TV?
Rent
To TV. Here they come.
Is it got
No,
that?
listen. We must leave this for the last 15 minutes of the show, which is where all these acts are going to be given
Okay.
away. And what we'll do is I pick a subject every week, and then people have to relate that to football.
Okay.
Like last week, I think it was plumbing. We had some kind of funny joke early on about plumbing.
Okay.
And then so you either associate a player's name with
Okay.
like a word association thing, but this lot on here, mate, they go wild. They don't half come out with some crackers, don't they?
He's a good one. This is from Martin Spinsko. He says, my missus has just leant over my shoulder and asked, who's that with the cap on? Has he no manners to wear a cap on while he's on the telly?
I've had it on because I've been outside all day today and the sun's been in my eyes. Huh?
You burnt your head.
Oh yeah, and there's no hair on it now anyway, so it does get burnt. She won't want one of these then, will she? She won't want one of them.
She won't want one of them.
Oh, golly, the TV is on rental. They're off already. No, leave it for the last 15 minutes. Please leave it for that. Oh, don't put your arms out. You'll get them chopped off.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I think he's okay. He's got a widescreen.
No.
No?
No, I've just seen it.
Oh, right.
Just had his hands chopped off. Dear.
I remember the Tilton singing one greedy bars to Dev when he came back for the Blades.
Oh yeah, and I remember the game because we played 2 years in a row. It was either Boxing Day or New Year's Day at St Andrews, and I got dogs abuse. Yeah, I think that was the only time my dad ever got angry at a game, because obviously I'd fell out with Trevor and that, and there was bits and bobs in the press that wasn't true, and the whole
Surely not.
Yeah, the whole of St Andrews singing that all in unison, and we lost the 1 year, but then the 1 year we won 2-1, and I scored and set up the winner, and we beat them 2-1. So yeah, I do remember that quite vividly.
Hostile place to come to St Andrews, isn't it, when it's on fire?
Yeah, it annoyed me because people didn't know the truth behind
Right.
why I'd left. That was the annoying part. That's
But
what,
again, what you didn't have is all this social media
Yeah.
stuff that we've got now that you could actually lay your story
yeah,
down.
and you know, it was great to get the chance to come back the second time and be part of some fantastic success and, you know, put the record straight, sort of thing.
But even though Chris O'Brien reminded you of that, at the end he's put still my favourite goal scorer for Blues.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Chris.
Top man. Top man. Top man.
People are only up there and saying,
Right.
I never sang it.
Yeah.
Reading tomorrow, whole scale changes, do you think?
It wouldn't surprise me, but have we got a big enough squad to make
No.
wholesale changes? I'd be surprised if he didn't make a few. Like I say, I think the Friday night, the Swansea game is going to be a priority. So yeah, I'm expecting definitely, quite a few.
Prediction?
I think it'll be tough. Have they got to play to a conclusion tomorrow?
Do you know what? That's an interesting question. Somebody will tell us. In the Carling Caribou Cup tomorrow,
Carling Caribou Cup.
is it played to conclusion or is there a replay? Please let us know as soon as possible.
I think it'll be difficult down there. I think it'll be difficult, especially if he makes a lot of changes.
Paul Gill saying 1-2 to the Blues.
Let's hope so.
Settled on the day. Paul Gill settled on the day. He's always very good on his knowledge, so there you go. It's settled on the day.
Okay,
So
settled
it's
on the day.
extra time and penalties then, isn't it?
I'll
Which you don't want.
I'll be over the moon if we can get a result. I'm not expecting anything because I think he'll make changes and I think he'll prioritise Friday night. He might go down there and play a full team and we might get a victory, but
The last thing you want is extra time and penalties, though, and then to play Friday.
especially when at the moment, you know, the squad is a little bit thin on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, we have a competition in our Trillion Trophies trophy
Okay.
on the Trillion Trophies Tilton Talk Show. This is all the people that shared last week's
So I've
programme.
got to pick this out, yeah?
Just the one, yes, please.
Okay. Stephen, keep right on Nally.
Stephen, keep right on now. There you go. No problem. There you go. A nice little package of prizes will be winging its way to you after the show.
Just message me or the
Yeah.
page.
Message and so we can get hold of your address. Do that on a private network though, rather than the public one. So, Stephen, well done to you. That chest and volley at Queen's Park Rangers in 1971. I thought you said did it come off your thigh or
97, that's 71. I wasn't born.
97? Beg your pardon.
97.
I'll
Yeah.
put them back on.
Get them
I'll put
glasses
'em back
on.
Oh, there's exclamation marks.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
it.
that was the one. It was a night. It was a night game.
Yeah.
Night game away at Loftus Road. Yeah, that was one of my favourites.
Marriage, then,
Dean Keats says I saw that goal at Queen's Park Rangers. Was it a night game? Yes, it was. Due to FFP, the TV is only allowed to broadcast Freeview. All right, okay. 2-1 Blues goes Paul Evans. No replay, and Doy's hat-trick will make sure of that anyway. Pete Taylor, I think that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek from him. And I bet the press were Birmingham Mail devs. That's all I'm going to say. That's from Matty, but hey-ho. Thanks, Pennywood. No replay. 1-0 Blues Jota. And Stephen Rice, yes, Wes to pay. No extra time, straight to pens. So that's confirmed, all of that. Thanks ever so much for that one. Can't see us win, says Chris McKenzie. I'm going to go 2-1 Reading, which is fair enough. That's your opinion. I don't think we're going to win it. To be fair, I don't think I think I'm edging on the side of a 2-1 Reading win as well. But
Yeah, it wouldn't
not bothered in the
surprise
slightest.
me.
To be fair, like we've got a long season ahead of us, and the less distractions this year that we got until such time as we are, potentially
challenge.
climbing up that table and start saying, well, not take your foot off the gas, not by a long shot, right? But at least say, look,
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you, Nick. I think, to be honest.
Are you the same guy who played at Kings Bromley with Steve Ferguson and Brian Kenning?
Yes.
Yes, there you go. That's from John Bagnall.
Steve Ferguson wasn't there with me. It was in 1990 I was there, and it was Armitage 90. A friend of mine, Joe Nugent, took the club over. Danny McMullen, who was a local businessman in the area, bought the club.
I know where it is, yeah.
It's out towards Rugeley way.
Yeah.
Darren Roberts also.
I live the opposite side
Oh,
of there,
right,
where
yeah.
you talked to.
Darren Roberts played for them after I went as well, and Darren went on to play for Wolves and that. But I left Armitage and went to Stafford Rangers, and Brian Kenning and Chris Wright were manager and coach there then. But I know Brian well because Brian used to use the same pub as me. So yeah, it was me.
So there you go. Dev, are you up for a five-a-side team? Gabby in goal, Mr. Fun at the back, Nick and Chris and Dev up front. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to have to do a lot of running in that team, I can tell you.
Yes, Dennis, we'll do it as long as there's a defibrillator on site.
And the St John's ambulance are on standby.
Goodness gracious me, you can't. I'm 56 for Christ's sake. I can't do that nowadays. Paul Gill, Dev's juggling the ball down the right wing about 5 times, taking the pee out of the opposition. I used to love them days. Love them days. Steve Cale says, can see the kids playing tomorrow Lake in Viv Bailey. Yeah, I should think so, yeah. It'd be some good experience for them at least.
Yeah, it's great. Any first team experience is good.
Ray wants to know if the glasses I've got a nose and a moustache attached to them. Cheers, Ray. They love me on here. We don't care. We just take the stick. The TV is off due to waiting for its match pass to come. Match pass? What's all this about, Devs? I mean, isn't your match pass your money, really?
Yeah. Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? It's a new one on me.
Oh, I ain't got one yet, so I don't even know if I can go Friday. What have I got to do to get a match pass? Can anybody tell me? And do I need one?
I don't know.
I've been busy, Chris. You know what I mean? I've had a busy summer going on holiday for 4 days. And don't talk to me about Ryan. Don't start me on Ryanair. Can our loan players play tomorrow? I don't see any reason why not.
I don't know, unless there's an agreement that the club don't want them cup tied. So I don't know is the answer.
Adam Wilkes wants to know who the worst ref you ever refed a game you played in.
God, there's too many to pick from, really.
All of them.
And then David Ellery, Graham Paul, all those, Clattenburg. Not so much bad refs, just so arrogant and full of themselves. Anybody think that they thought the people were coming to pay to watch them?
Well, it was Ellery that was getting the Worthington Cup final.
Yeah, and and I think what makes it worse now is that we're giving them platforms, we're giving them chat shows, we're giving them this and that. So you're making referee star of the show. The best ones for when I first started playing in the early 90s, Roger Milford and people like that. You could have a bit of banter with them. You'd tell them how crap they've been, and they'd tell you how crap you'd been, and you could talk to them. But I think the modern day ref now, I think I'd get sent off every week if I was playing, to be honest.
Penny's apparently just spilled a wine, something that Kev Kelly said. I'll have to go back and check that in a minute. And Penny, what are you doing drinking wine on a school night? That's all I can ask. Here we got you, mate. Tomorrow Lee Camp will be in goal from Mandy Irvin. Now, it is another one that's took a lot of stick this week on social networks. And again, he hasn't even pulled a shirt on for us in anger yet, right? Leave the bloke alone. Right, they do get to see this stuff nowadays.
Why has he got a load of stick?
Oh man, because he's useless. He's this. He's that. He's not even played a game for a second. You judge him.
I think you've got to give him a chance, haven't you?
Of course
give him a chance, and then at the end of the season, you form an opinion. Then, but I think it can be a bit poisonous when we start the negativity before people have even kicked a ball for us.
So it's the worst thing ever.
And it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help the team. It doesn't help the player. It doesn't help anyone.
Going into a job and all your colleagues are writing on social networks, this guy's a div. You know what I mean?
It puts you on. It puts you under pressure straight away. So it just isn't helpful, regardless of if you think it or not. It just doesn't help the cause.
Pete Taylor says Uriah Rennie was probably the one of the worst, was he?
Oh, I remember him coming to a game at Sheffield United, and Steve Thompson was manager at the time, and he told me, he said, "Can you put me somewhere where I won't be asked for autographs?" That was Uriah Rennie, the referee.
Are you for real?
Honestly, can you put me somewhere where I won't be asked for autographs? That was at Bramall Lane, because I think he was from up that way. So yeah, another one. I'd forgot about him, to be honest. He was another one that was full
What
of
a
himself.
plonker.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, look.
that's putting it mildly.
If anybody asked for my autograph, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
It's over the moon.
And I'd be shocked.
Well, let me tell you, if you ask for a referee's autograph, there's something seriously wrong with you, in my opinion.
I don't know. Getting it on the programme as part of the memory of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that.
I just couldn't do it. I had that many run-ins with referees, I couldn't bring myself to ask.
No, but I mean, as a supporter,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
as a fan, right? You've gotten like
Yeah.
the two teams have
Yeah,
signed
yeah,
the
yeah.
back sheet. Oh, refereeing on two linesmen, bang, you've got that. That's in your collection.
You'll be all right as long as it's not Uriah.
I actually found my programme collection at the loft yesterday. Wow.
Yeah.
My goodness me. Some absolute gems in there. I held my 1991 Leyland Duff Cup final
Yeah.
programme in hand yesterday. I've got so many that my lad always used to wait out the back. He always used to get them signed.
Yeah.
Probably got your signature loads of times on them somewhere. But
Well, somebody just sent me a load. Ada Riley, a pal of mine, just sorting his loft out and sent me a load over. You know, some of the players on there, Vinnie Samways, and
Yeah.
you know, people like Stevie Castle. You know,
Crikey.
real blast from the past.
yeah. What else? I've got some going back to the early 50s.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. They're all in proper bags,
Yeah.
hermetically sealed,
Yeah.
and something. You know, I need to keep the books out, so to him. Can you turn up every Monday? We need a transfer for Mr. Fun, says Demis.
I've been on
And
the TV at the moment, by the way.
the what?
Oh, he's
Sorry,
on the telly
he's on
now,
telly
isn't
now.
he?
Yeah,
He's on
he's there.
So he doesn't feel left out.
Ironically, Uriah Rennie looks a lot like Undoy. He does a bit, doesn't he?
I tell you what, in fairness, you wouldn't want to argue with Uriah. He's a
you
big old
wouldn't-
lump.
Oh, you wouldn't want to argue with Undoy, either,
No,
would you?
no.
Penny says it's not a school night for me. Okay, good on you. Get another bottle of wine open then. That's all I can go on that one. Being Mr. Floor, of course. You know, I can't not advocate it, can I? No. Sunderland supporters slated League Camp, and for some reason an element have jumped on the bandwagon. Yes, I saw some of the posts that the Sunderland supporters were putting out. Well, you know, that's sour grapes on their part. They got relegated,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't mean to say your goalkeeper's bad, does it? You know, your team was bad, your manager was
Yeah.
bad. You know, the season was bad. We've all had them. Hello, we've
Yeah.
all been there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean to say that one individual is specifically
No, you know,
responsible for that.
One player doesn't cause the crumble that they've had at Sunderland over the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, he's probably been made the scapegoat. And you know, one thing I will say: if you're a goalkeeper, your mistakes are always highlighted far more than an outfield player.
Oh, Lindsay Phillips. Nick, can I get a hat with yours and Paul's signature on, please?
Yeah, that's a hat.
Yeah, that's a hat. That's a hat.
That's just creeping.
Well, that's the
though,
first time I've ever been asked for my signature. Come on, apart from
Yeah,
when it's like
okay.
at the bank or something like that when
This
Gray
is me,
covered the
Lindsay.
Leyland Daft programme. Yeah, I got it, man. Love it. Love it.
This is a good one. Can I just quickly? How much was the fine for a yellow card?
It used
In your day.
it used to differ. It started off at 50 quid, and I think after time the managers just had that in the pocket. But no, it used to differ from club to club. To be honest with you, and sometimes it'd be if you got booked for a tackle, there wouldn't be a fine. If you got booked for mouthing, there'd be a fine. And you used to find that a sending off was normally 2 weeks, but it was at the club's discretion.
Oh right, so it's not the FA. It was the,
Yeah, you'd get an FA fine, but the club would also fine you as well. But it changed over the years, because when I first started playing, it used to be a point system. So you'd get 1 or 2 points for a booking, 3 points for a sending. Once you got to 21, you got a ban. Then 31, you got a ban. I got to about 50 odd one year in my first year as a pro. I got more points than Notts County. We got
You
relegated.
were just clumsy.
Yeah, very clumsy. But yeah,
Professionally
it changed.
clumsy.
It changed.
Yeah, that was what it was last week. It was the West Brom boiler. Did you see the picture of the boiler?
that? That's all.
No. Oh yes, the mascot
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Okay then, so we're into the last 15 minutes now, and as there's been quite a lot of not quite a lot, but just a few comments on the TV, we're going to go anything technology and football. Anything technology and football. We've got 4 more hats to give away. Chris, can you take that young lady's name?
Yes, Lindsay, I've got it.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Apart from St Andrews, what's the best league ground you've ever played at, Nick? Only joking. The question's for Devs. Keep on.
Best atmosphere was probably Anfield. I played in the semi-final of the League Cup for Watford at Anfield. That was a great atmosphere. And Scotland, Hampden Park, it was fantastic. But a full St Andrews is a side to
Formidable
behold.
place, isn't it?
Yeah,
Formidable. And I'm glad that when they rebuilt it, there wasn't a lot of change in the dynamics of the sound, so to speak, from a supporter's point of view.
Yeah.
You get some of these plastic stadiums, and like they've
Well,
lost
I think you look at Pride Park and Leicester and Coventry. They're all very generic. And I think if you were to take the coloured seats out, they could all be the same stadium, just big bowls. There's not many of the character stadiums left now, really.
And Kevin French wants my brother's Timothy signature as well. Timothy Small. Ah, dear me. Okay, so is that TV from Radio Rentals? There they come. They're coming in.
Yeah.
That's from Ray. Are you surprised about?
Dave Twine.
Yeah. Are you surprised about Grounds going out?
Yeah, because I thought he'd done okay last season.
I thought he did.
He'd done okay. So it was.
But again, we don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
We're not privy to what's happening on the training pitch. So a little bit surprised, yeah.
Yeah, Barry Ferguson TV. Ferguson TV, I like that one. That's quite good.
One.
Quite good for me and Lomas there. Can we have widescreen when Mr. Fun comes back? All them burgers he'll eat there. He's not a veggie, is he? No, I don't think he's a veggie.
Nah. Obviously.
The TV is like Villa's promotion chances remote. Ooh, it's quite clever. Come on, anything to do with technology and football. I like that Radio Rentals though. That's quite good. Yeah, Grounds are going to Bolton is I don't know. It's a strange one for me,
I
but
think it's split the camp, that one has, hasn't it? A lot of people were a bit surprised.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought he'd done okay last season, to be honest with you. But obviously, for him to be shipped out this early, then
game time, like what we were talking earlier.
Yeah, he wants to go and play. He's obviously been told that he's not going to play, and with Pedersen coming in, you think you're going to bring him in, he's going to play him, isn't he? So he's probably looked at that as well and thought, well, I need to get out and play.
Yeah, Mandy Evans says I was going to say that Mr. Fun is a box-to-box player. That's quite clever. That's
good,
quite clever. Yeah. Gary Barnfield, what did the ref say to the chicken who tripped a defender? Foul. Right, okay, that's lame. Gary, come on, sort it out, man.
Alex Samsung.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. What about the current goalkeeper situation? I know we touched on it earlier, but with Stockers, doesn't even seem to be. Well, he hasn't even got a squad number, has he? So he can't play, can he?
No.
Theoretically.
I mean, like I say, I thought the young lad Truman did well against Norwich. It helped that in the first 6 or 7 minutes he had a really good save that he tipped over from a Jordan Rhodes header. He looks a decent prospect to me.
Yeah.
To me, play him. Give him his chance. Say, okay, for the foreseeable future, you're in. You're the number one. Go out and take it with both hands.
Yeah. Sonia Luco. That was made Dev's laugh. That's a hat. That's a hat. We've got two more to go with about 9 minutes of the show left.
Paul Hipkiss, if you message me, I'll get some notes.
Paul Hipkiss, that's a good one. Okay, TV in the corner, is it RuPaul? Oh, Ren and Stimpy. Do you think the bus stand Stockdale's ad and Grounds being shipped out are related?
You don't know. See, the thing is, we all speculate what's going on. Nobody sees what happens day to day on the training pitch and what the relationship between the manager and the players is. So it's really hard to sit here and say, yeah, he's gone because of this or he's gone because of that. They'll have the reasons, both player and club.
Yeah. And I think it's probably best that it's not left out in the open either, because it gives then the people out there on the keyboards, so much.
Well, the thing about it is, I've been on both sides of it. As a player, you want to play. So if you're not playing, you're in a mood and you've got the hump. The club, if they want you out, they don't want you there. So if you dig your heels in and say you're not, they get the hump. So it's a no-win situation. That's why it's always best to try and resolve it as quickly as you can and as amicably as you can. But it doesn't tend to pan out like that because obviously you're talking about big sums of money involved a lot of the time.
Kevin French says his career at Blues has grounds to a halt. Here we go back on the technology again. Ian Lomas, John Toshiba.
Good one.
Adam Dyer, Game of Throw-ins. Quite like that.
You can just see the cogs in people's heads.
Mick Jeans, hopefully we will all aerial challenges tomorrow. Just tuned in. Who should be in goal for Blues? Well, we think Truman might possibly start tomorrow, or the new lad. So we'll
I wouldn't be surprised if camp started tomorrow.
Yeah. Mandy Irvine, can I have a hat, please? You have to earn them, Mandy. Jeff Antenna. Is that crispy on news at Wren?
Oh. There you go.
Nice one, Ray. I bet he's been sat down thinking about that all week.
I know, yeah.
Oh, dear me, dear me. Jim Revel says, like Graham's got a feeling there might be an underlying injury problem and Blues can't afford the squad place. Could be the case again, like so we just don't know.
He played a lot of games last season, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did all right as well to me. You know, even my lad said to me the other night, I just can't understand it.
Yeah.
You know, even thinking about not playing him. No one puts Mr. Fun in the corner from Jez. Hopefully we will win all our aerial challenges tomorrow. Samsung is our new goal scorer. Samsung. Renza Ghost. Gary Barnfield head of the football pitch. End up as triangle. Somebody took a corner. Come on. Adrian Howe, the television trophy stadium.
The what?
Instead of the drilling trophy. The television trophy stadium. I like that. In Yorkshire, they say, get the ball into your eye, lad. Don't get that one, but anyway. Put Ren on standby. I think camp will start tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping he does, actually, so at least we get to have a look at, what he's about.
Yeah.
Can I just nominate one for Paul Lilly, because he was our Super 6 champion last year.
Yes.
He needs a hat.
There we go.
Okay.
So that's all 5 hats, is it?
Ooh, I don't know. I've been keeping count.
Well, you're supposed to be writing the
You're
names
supposed to
down.
keep counting, yeah?
God,
hang on, 1, 2, 3. Oh yes, 5. Yeah, that's 5. Yeah.
you're
If I'm wrong.
the producer. You're supposed to be like whispering in our earpieces what's
One
going
more.
on next. You know what I mean?
We can do another one. We can do another one. I've got loads of that. So don't
Super 6. How'd you get on the weekend then, Mister?
I don't think I did too bad. I think I'm up to 13th overall in the season.
I think I'm 90 something at the minute, so I'm not doing so well.
you are correct.
I've not got over this injury, Chris. Honestly. But if you want to join the Super 6,
Okay, I'll have a look at that, yeah.
That's good fun. It's good
Chris,
fun.
get in touch with him with the code.
Yeah,
will you?
it's good fun.
Just download the app onto your phone, and then it's a good laugh. Like it'd be
Yeah.
great, like as an
I
ex-player,
think there's 100
because everybody would want to beat you then.
Oh, right. Okay.
But what they got to also bear in mind is that you're already 2 games behind. You see,
Yeah,
so
not a problem.
yeah. Bowl TV pies.
Yeah.
Bowl TV pies. Bowl TV pies. No. No. Okay. I'm 10th, and Mrs. Brown
I know,
posts
I
the
do.
top 9.
I tell you why that is, because my
I tell you
screen
what,
will
that-
only show the top 9, and I can't get 10 on it. That's why.
Shall I have a look if I can get 10 on mine?
Okay.
I'll have a look when I get home, and if I get 10 on mine, then I'll repost that for you. What I think you should at least do then is scroll down one and then take the photograph. And in 10th place this week.
Ray's got the code for the Super 6, or you can just go to the Tilton Talk page. It's on there.
And Adrian L's come up with a good suggestion. Super 6 weekly winner should get the TV name. Should be named underneath the TV with a number 6 on it, perhaps.
Good idea.
Okay.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Where does he get these from?
I don't know.
It's not like him, is it?
You mean the current leader of the competition? You mean?
Is he the current leader? I didn't really pay much attention to it. To be
No, I
honest
wasn't
with you.
listening.
because I didn't do well. I tend not to look. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, but we know we can do that. Jamie VARD.
Oh, VARD-DY, yeah, VARD-DY. Jamie Vardy, I like that one. Unfortunately, all the hats are gone.
No, we can do
All the
one.
hats are
We can do
gone.
one.
Anybody know how the
There
borough
you go.
pies were?
Lee J. Geary. If you message me, I'll get a hat over to you
What's that for?
for that one. I thought that was quite funny, Jamie.
Oh, right, okay, so
Yeah,
you're going to do an extra one, are you?
Yeah.
So you're on
I've got
overtime
some
now, you've
more.
got to sign 6.
Okay, no worries.
I've
And
only got to
that's
do
it.
one, I'll go in a minute. All right then, guys, just before we go, Middlesbrough the weekend, we've got 4 minutes. Not Middlesbrough. Swansea on Friday night, beg your pardon, at St Andrews, under the lights. Let's have your predictions for that one.
I'm going for 2-1 win Blues. I think
2-1
it'll be a
win Blues.
difficult game. Obviously, an ex-Blues player coming back as a manager.
Yeah.
Team recently relegated, so it'll be tough. But I just think that we'll do it. Friday night game at St Andrews, always a great atmosphere.
But we need people. We really need a lot of people there.
Got to get behind the team and show the numbers. That,
I
we can
think the
turn
club
in.
have done the right thing with the logo, bring the noise and this, that, and the other. We brought it against that Fulham day, mate, and I tell you what, they cacked it. They absolutely cacked it. And there was not a game prior to that, apart from probably the Villa and West Ham games in the Carling Cup, and then before that was the Ipswich game.
Yeah.
I can't remember St Andrews being as loud all the way through the game.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and it was just a great day, wasn't it? Last day as well. So
was you commentating on that one? With,
was I commentating? Yeah, I think I did. I did do the commentary for that day, and it was
Was it
also
with Tom?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, I think it was with Richard Wilford.
Blues TV. Pat Spore, my sister, as I'm still waiting for my winning stuff from last season, can I have a signed out? No, you can't, but I have got the package with your winning stuff
You
in.
could sign one of the other things I've got. Yeah. do
Yeah, all right, okay. We'll get you something sorted out because
I've got all
we
the stuff in the car.
made an
I'll get it
error.
over tonight.
And these things happen, don't they? You know
They
what I
do.
mean? But it just happened to be my sister that the error was made on. She's not let us not let us off the hook yet, as she can.
Tell you about that.
Is Chris Teletubby on? Mr. Fun starring as Tinky Winky. Mr. Fun will be back with us hopefully in 2 weeks' time when he's back from his journey around the United States of America. I'm sure he'll have some great stories to tell us. And obviously he is our guru for the blues ladies, which is why I don't kind of tend to get involved with that, and he's so good at it anyway. He'll be bringing us all the news and relative information from the ladies' camp when he comes back. Okay, Debs, it's been an absolute pleasure. I don't know where the hour and a half's gone to. And please, guys, as we asked at the front of the show, if you're going to Facebook share us to be in the competition, please only ever share it on your personal network, not onto another site. Because Facebook pick it up with their algorithms as a scam, and then you get kind of shut down. Unless you're the page owner, then please by all means do. Is Mr. Fun the epilogue? I don't know about that. He'll have to answer that for himself when he gets back. Okay, the Tilton Talk Show every single Monday all the way through the football season, apart from when Chris Brown's on holiday, which is most of it. We'll be bringing you. Oh, Mrs. Brown, the boys is on TV. Around. Yes, he's trying hard, isn't he? Bless him. Yeah, Kev French says hope they've sorted the catering out for Friday. It was a bit of a miss. This fast pay.
Oh, right. I don't know anything about that.
My fast pay is a card. You can preload the money and pay faster, but the queues were longer.
Oh, right.
And it was trying to get it out of slow payment money. You know what I mean? Come up with those. The ideas are great.
Yeah.
The ideas are great, but what you got to have is a plan, a backup plan, and a backup plan.
Yeah.
If things are going, a little bit not to the original plan. Always good to talk to you, matey. Just give us the details later of your Just Giving page. I promise you that will go on that red line there.
Lovely.
That will show all through the year.
Great.
And we'll do anything we possibly can for you. And again, as I said earlier, any events that you've got coming up, message Chris, message myself, message there, and we'll talk to you.
Okay, mate, brilliant.
We'll absolutely advertise the Shumos available.
Lovely.
Don't forget this month, lovers, we're doing this with Birmingham Homeless Support Team, and they need joggers, jeans, socks, hats, gloves, toiletries, male and female. Water, please. Water everywhere. It's so easy when you've got home in a sink and you're back and you just go and turn your tap on and get a drink of water. Where do these guys get a drink of water from?
Yeah.
I'm actually genuinely looking forward to the night when we go out, because I think it's an eye-opener for anybody.
Yeah,
to do.
definitely.
And you're very welcome to come along on that night and give some goodies out to these people who are certainly less fortunate than us. Right, the Tilton Talk Show is all done for a Monday. It's all down to Reading tomorrow away, Swansea at home. On Friday, let's hope we are sitting here next Monday with a big beam and smile on our face.
Yep, hopefully.
3 points in the bag and through to the next round. Second one I'm not too worried about, but 3 points.
3 points in the bag.
We've got to get off the mark now.
Yep.
A draw and a loss, and before you know it, we'll get ourselves.
We'll get a win.
We'll be alright. We're Blues. We do it our way. And thanks ever so much for tuning in tonight. And thanks you, Paul Devlin.
Cheers.
Absolute legend of Birmingham City Football Club. Stories abound. I think you should write a book personally. I do really. Write it for you.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to
Write it for you.
that.
Write it for you.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
I was going to do one about all my years working in nightclubs. It was just going to be called No Names. But that's for another day. Tilton Talk Show is all but done. Thanks, Mrs. Brown.
Good night.
Thanks, Mrs. Brown.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mrs. Yanks. All the best. Thanks, Mrs. Brown. And an absolute massive thanks to Paul Devlin. welcome on here anytime, mate, because you're an absolute joy to talk to. Thank you ever so much. You lovely people out there. Take care. Have a great week. And let's hope, as I say, we're smiling. Come next Monday. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye. Keep up.